my number one dream right now is to have my own little store that I pack orders for and wake up and I get to design new things all the time. And this is me pleading for help in what direction to go, and that is just everything I want so bad. Hi guys, so today's video, it's gonna be a little bit slightly different, I guess, than usual. See, I really would like to start my own little online stationery store sort of thing. And I've decided to I'm starting to plan it out. So I have a few examples of things here. So this is sort of some of those plans. So I have initially, the start will be like acrylic bookmarks with some pretty pictures on it, and then letter writing kits, so small letter writing kits. And of course I want to, make notebooks and that kind of stuff. That's just a little outside the price range of starting a business. So that will be a later thing, but I want to do like whole, what are they called? Themes, essentially, so it's all connected. So I have two here as an example. And the first one is like a coastal cottage sort of feel, so it has little tiny ditzy floral patterns, like light blue navy stripe for the books and that kind of stuff, and then of course a picture of a cottage by the sea kind of for the bookmark, and that's kind of the plan for that. And then I have one that's called Summer Linen, and that's going to be a little bit more beige. I want to have it kind of look like towels and light airy curtain and things that you would find in a beach house in terms of like, I guess, the laundry and that kind of stuff. So that's sort of the plan for that. So those are two of my ideas, but the thing is I'm not really sure how many more to start off with. So I'm curious if I did of course I'm gonna get there and I'm going to be doing this sort of stuff, but what sort of themes would you want? Like, is there specific things that you're looking for, like more shell motifs? Or I am going mostly coastal because that's kind of me and what I love, but of course I want to hear from you guys, and if there's other things that you'd like maybe leaning a little bit more into the French sort of style and the like sort of paisley-esque patterns, or if I need to go a little bit more country and add in some country sort of elements to some of these. Of course, I'd love to see that. What kind of colors would you love to see? Most of my stuff is creams and blues and light pinks, but do you want a really dark one? I could do that too. So that's sort of what I want opinions of for things like that, and I can kind of show you. So my mood board, of course, on Pinterest. Pinterest is fantastic and I love it in terms of trying to figure out what it is you're looking for in things. So these are sort of like my art reference. Like, this is sort of what I'm thinking floral wise. Like, that's sort of what I would love to have in some of those. That's sort of inspired by that motif. Or like when I say the ditzy floral, I mean like this, where it's just really small kind of flower prints that kind of look like polka dots almost from far away. So that's sort of what I'm looking for in sort of those patterns. When I say like a little bit more French, I mean a little bit like this, where it seems a little bit more, what is the words for him? Like curly cues and that kind of stuff, where it just seems a little bit extra. And then of course, pinstripe, light blue, like that is to me the number one thing that's like coastal. And then of course like shell motifs. So this is something that I was looking at for that. That's sort of the patterns I'm thinking. I'd love to hear what you guys think about what I should do there. Also, what else I should include in this sort of stationery online store. I would love to get to a point where I'm making, like, designing some dresses and working with people to help create those as well, and having coastal sort of style clothing as well. A mix, you know, not everything is gonna, like, it'll look coastal, but if you style it, then it's gonna be coastal. But if you style it another way, it could easily be something else. But I'd really like to see what exactly it is that people would love to see and what people would like to have in terms of color and patterns and actual items like mugs and plates and ceramic kind of stuff, and of course the stationery. I would love for it to just be a kind of, here's this aesthetic, here's this sort of feeling and vibe, and have all this kind of stuff that you can get from there. So that's sort of what I'm thinking in terms of that. Now that we've discussed and I've put that out there, I would really like some opinions on that, on what it is exactly that I should be designing and making so that I'm doing that well and getting to the, you know, what people want. I'm not the best artistically, but I used to be. I feel like I used to be pretty good, but I haven't done it in a really long time. So that's definitely something I would like to put more effort into and start doing, because for me, that's like my number one dream. My number one dream right now is to have my own little store that I pack orders for and wake up and I get to design new things all the time. And I just think that is just everything I want so bad. So I'm working really hard to start designing and doing that kind of stuff. And then notes on here, I actually think, oh, here we go. Okay, so these are sort of the things that I have product theme wise. So I have one that's called Sea Glass, and that would be a really light, sort of foggy, misty, light green. And I kind of want to do it like a mosaic, like the pattern around the letter kit and on the notebook would be sort of like a mosaic into some sort of artistic picture that you would make with like a sea glass. So that's sort of what I'm thinking there. Ocean waves, that one would be like a mixture between green, beige, and sort of like, not green, cream, beige, white, blue, just like all the colors you would see in the ocean wave. And that's where I'd probably bring in like wavy elements and that kind of stuff. But I'm not really sure exactly what sort of patterns I could see, or if people like, are you more into patterns, or would people be more into like actual pictures in the letter writing kind of kits, like would the background be an actual sort of image of, say, like a seashore, or would it just be on the edge and more of an actual pattern and not really realistic and more simple? So that's also something I'd love to know. Other ideas I've had is like pink sands. That one would of course be pink. Stormy weather, and that's what I was thinking for like the darker ones, and do more of a navy and gray and something that's a little more like that. Let's see. And then of course, because I'm me and I don't want to exclude some sort of like other things, so I have holiday specials and things that would be available during the holiday seasons, like right before and probably a little bit after, for like Valentine's, Christmas, and Easter. And I have, for Valentine, it's Summer of Love, and that one would be, honestly, I have no idea yet, but that's the theme base for it. And then I have Christmas on the Coast, which is the Christmas one. Also not really sure about that one, how I'm going to incorporate it, but it would probably lean more towards traditional Christmas than it would be coast, because that's just how I lean. Christmas isn't Christmas unless it's more traditional, like it doesn't feel right. And then I have Written in the Sand, which is Easter, and I want to show you these. So this is what I have as like a reference image for what I want for Written in the Sand for the Easter. So we, of course, as members of Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, they want us to focus on making Easter a much bigger part of our year. And so I was like, well, I definitely want to do that. So if I did it, I wanted to create something that really focused more on that part of Easter than like bunnies and that kind of stuff. So I have things like that where it's more Christ-centered in Easter. With the coastal element, I'll probably throw in some things that maybe reference a bunny too, because that just seems also kind of just what I grew up with, as well as the Easter bunny. But I really want to make sure that this is more than just, it's important to me that that's what comes across, because that's important to me. My religion is very important to me. So I want that to be that as well. So I'd love to have other things in here as well. At some point, I really want to get to a point where I can put together, what do they call? They're scriptures, but they separate them into the individual books. So I've seen that in other stores, but the problem I have is that they're always journal edition, and which is fine, but I sometimes just want it for reading. Like, I just want a small, normal size book individually from that part. And I've also seen it where it's just not the Bible that I read. So we read the King James. I read the King James version, and oftentimes it's not that. So I would like to do it where you sell them individually. So like John is on its own, and Luke is on its own, and it's all individual smaller books so that you can carry just like that one instead of the full thing every day, especially if you're reading. So those are my ideas. I'm not really sure. Is there anything else? I really like some help here. So I've, of course, never done this. I have no idea where to start. So I'm starting with designing, because that's what I do. I start with planning and do my best and hope for the best and cross my fingers. So that is what I'm going to be doing. So if you could just leave comments, tons. I will take tons. Whatever advice you have. What I should sell, what themes I should do, anything. Also, I'm thinking my channel needs a different name. So I love Peach Blossom Aesthetics, because that is where I started and what got me as like, here's my settled long enough for me to start a channel. But the truth of the matter is, it's a really long title, super long, and I need something shorter. I need something that could be said pretty quickly, and I need something that fits a little bit more towards the brand that I'm trying to do when I start a store, and I want that all to be cohesive. So, ideas. I'm thinking about something with like pearl, because not only does that tie back to this sort of coastal that I'm going for and my aesthetic, but also because my name, Megan, actually means pearl. So I thought it would be a way to use my name without actually using my name. So, but if you have any ideas for that name as well, for my channel name, for my brand name, for all of that, I would love to hear it. This is me pleading for help in what direction to go and things I should be working on so that I can, do the things that I really want to be doing. So thank you. And for all of you who stuck around and watched, and thank you. Thank you so much. And oh my gosh, thank you so much for the 100 followers. I mean, I finally hit that mark, and I just feel so happy about all these people who are supporting me and what I'm trying to do, even though I'm kind of don't even know what I'm doing, but it's fine. Thank you. Thank you to every single one of you, and it just means the world to me. So thank you for that. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys again soon. I really hope so. Okay. Bye.